Welcome to 1.6. We only have two objectives in this section, which is nice. They both are lines. So a linear equation, again, is just one that forms a line. L-I-N-E is built into linear. Now, they can be written in more forms than this technically, but these are the two that we're going to focus on. They're the most common. Standard form looks like ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are rational numbers. And then slope-intercept form is the one that you'll probably remember the most, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, how you move, and b is the y-intercept, and it's where we'll begin graphing. So we are going to be given lines usually in standard form, and then I'm going to show you two different ways of graphing them. We can use intercepts, which we learned how to do in 1.3, and then we can also solve that for y to get it into slope-intercept form and use the mx plus b in order to graph. So it's however you prefer. I'm just going to show both methods. All right, our first example is clearly in standard form, right? A is 4, B is 2, C is 2, so ax plus by equals 2. And the first method we're going to use is the intercepts method. So using intercepts. And I think this is the easiest way just because you don't really have to do that much algebra, like moving things around, but I like this method. Okay, so to find the x-intercept, we're going to let y be 0. So I'm just going to cover up 2y, since y being 0 will make that go away. And so we'll just be left with 4x equals 2. And therefore our x-intercept is 1/2 when we divide both sides by 4. And then to find our y-intercept, we'll let x be 0. So I'm just going to cover up this term. Since x being 0 will make that go away. And we'll just be left with 2y equals 2, and that makes our y-intercept 1. So this is our x-intercept and our y-intercept, and 2 points make a line, meaning that's all we need, 2 points. So the intercepts method, I'll graph here in orange. All right, x is 1/2, so that just means on our x-axis, oops, a little off there, we'll be at 1/2, and this is not going to be beautiful. And then y is 1 there, and then we can make our line go through those 2 points. Now, on Alex, you can like pick the points really nicely and then the line will look great, but that's not too shabby. All right, the other method that we can use is getting it into y equals mx plus b. Okay, in order to use this method, we literally have to get it into the form y equals mx plus b. So I'm just going to rewrite our equation. And then we want to solve for y, and we want to keep y on the left-hand side. So let's move this 4x over by subtracting it from both sides. And I'm going to write it as negative 4x plus 2 because I want it as close to y equals mx plus b as I can. Then we're going to divide everything by 2 to get y by itself. And then we'll have negative 2x plus 1. All right, so our m is a negative 2. M's our slope. It's how we move. B over here is 1. That's our y-intercept. It's where we begin graphing. That's just a little mnemonic device you can use to help you do this. All right, so in order to graph this, we're literally going to begin at 1 on the y-axis. So there we go, we're at 1. Then we're going to move. Now I like to write the slope as a fraction because if you recall, it's like rise over run, but it's negative, so we're going to fall. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here at 1, and then we're going to fall 2 and run to the right 1. So our next coordinate point is going to be down here that we'll draw. Oops. Need to calibrate. There we go. So 2 points make a line, although you can do that again. So from that point, we can go down 2 and over 1 once more. And then we can also go the other way. We can go from here, we can go up 2 and left 1, since we're going in the opposite direction. And then these points make our line. But all you really need is 2 points to make a line, but those are just the two methods you can use. All right, for this one, I'm gonna have you try. You can use either method, and then I will show the solution here in just a moment. Okay, for this one, we can see that this line has a positive slope. It's a little different from the one before. So I'm assuming most of you did the intercepts method. If we do that, we find our x-intercept to be -5 and our y-intercept to be +3. 2 points make a line, boom. And then if you just see here, you can actually count from point to point using slope, right? So from left to right point, we actually rise 3 and run 5. So that segues into our slope-intercept form method. When we solve for y, we'll get y equals 3/5 x plus 5, which we found the slope to be 3/5 already, just visually, up 3 over 5. And our y-intercept once more was 3.